members this evening for the Blackwell City Council. Now join us, stand, and John will lead us in prayer, and Chad invites the
Father, we thank you for life. We thank you, Father, for the freedom and liberty we have to meet and Father, to conduct business for the city. Pray, Father, that all that is done and said might be pleasing to you and profitable for this community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item 3, special presentations. Recognition of our first responders for their actions responding to an August 1st, 2021 house fire. Chiefs.
I'm going to call up Officer Kayla Green and Master Patrolman Nick Grove.
And Battalion Chief Lee Madden, Captain Scott Feaster, Firefighter Jacob Bapp, and Firefighter Garrett Clark.
During the early morning hours of August 1st, 2021, this group was dispatched to a structure fire at 402 East Blackwell, in Blackwell. Once on the scene, 2 occupants were located standing on the roof of the burning residence. While the fire was burning on the first floor in the living area under where the occupants were standing, members of the Blackwell Police and Fire Departments were able to quickly use a ladder to get both residents off the roof. The residents then notified emergency personnel of 2 dogs and 3 cats still inside the residence. Members of the Blackwell Police and Fire worked together to retrieve all of these animals while fighting the fire. Some of these animals were barely breathing due to the inhalation of smoke from inside the home and were treated with oxygen from the ambulance to revive them. Without the quick response of emergency personnel, this event had the potential to be deadly for residents and animals involved. Your efforts of heroism is exemplary to the public safety community and should be commended. Thank you for your outstanding duty on this call. And we got some letters for you guys.
Great job. Thank you. Moving on to number 4 is public comment.
I have none.
This evening, move on to the consent agenda. Questions, comments on the consent agenda?
Not to move, we accept.
Second.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Moving on to item 6 is reports. Authority board reports. Top of Oklahoma Museum.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
I was going to let you know we've had lots of visitors, people in and out, people from different states coming through. We even had someone from Amsterdam come in. Also, right now we're featuring our back to school room, the football section, the past football guys, O.C. Anderson, the Hamlet brothers, Thurman Garrett, Jack Briscoe, Leo Kennedy. We're also got on feature for back to school some of the trophies. We even have trophies in the museum for spelling, typing, speech, as well as athletic trophies. And then we have, of course, some new band uniforms. In light of our new band uniform, we have the old ones on feature and some of the old vocal dresses. Some of the new things we've gotten right now is the Purdy family brought us some cookbooks that date back to before the land run that she's collected, and there's some really neat articles in there through the 40s and 50s that we've been able to see. So, anybody have any questions? Everything's going good. You guys come by and visit us. Check stuff out. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Anyone from the golf course this evening? Anyone on Blackwell Industrial Authority or Economic Development Authority? How about Lake Blackwell Trust Authority? Blackwell, go ahead.
I just wanted to tell the council, thank you for what you did earlier this month with accepting the indenture that Bryce had worked hard on, believe me, and had me worried for a while. But everything's going great out the lake. It really is. Financially, we're doing great, better this year than we have in years past. As the treasurer, I happen to know that. The state issued or gave us some concrete picnic tables from out at the visitors center where they used to have them out there. And we've got those installed, and there's 10 of them around the lake. We've got concrete pads poured, and these are concrete picnic tables. There's something that'll be there for when I'm long gone. I don't want to take any more of your time, but I did want to tell you thank you for all you've done and letting us have this place like we have. We really enjoy it, guys. Okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone this evening from tourism?
Okay. I just want to say thank you to the city guys for putting up the rest of the barn quilts at the fairgrounds. Really appreciate you guys' help for doing that. We also want to talk about last month's skate park, and then we'll talk more about that, but that was a great turnout. We hope to do it every year and have it bigger. And thank you guys. Nothing but good compliments on the fireworks for July.
Oh, where she is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, real quick, why she said that. My daughter-in-law, she's from Edmond, grew up in Edmond, graduated from Edmond, and they came and spent the weekend with us. And we were at the fairgrounds and just watched the fireworks there, and after it was over, she was like, wow, kudos to Blackwell. She said, that was longer than we've ever had in Edmond. So it was very impressive, and so it was exciting. But July 3rd, I think everyone really had a good time. I liked it because it was interactive. It wasn't anything that I set up. It was the professionals that came in. They're like, hey, we don't want to just perform. We want these kids out here. So it's kind of given us some ideas. I don't know. We're real excited. We'd like to expand and bring in other things next year. And some things that are kind of different. Have you guys ever heard of slacklining?
Yes.
Okay.
I used to have one of my friends.
Oh, well then maybe you can help perform. But anyway, college kids, there's college kids, they like it because it's like a strap that when you are like for a trailer or something, you're hauling, those little straps. These are like, what, 2 inches wide? 2.5 inches wide. And college kids like it because they'll go on campus, they'll find 2 trees or 2 poles, they bring it, it only has to be about waist high. And first thing you got to do is learn how to balance on it. I've done some YouTubing on it. I'm like, ugh, that itself is a challenge. But once they do that, and some of these people that go into competition, they're kind of bouncing on it, and they'll do what it's called a bottom bounce, and they hit their bottom, they come back up. They'll do a chest bounce, hit their chest, come back up, and then some of them are really good and can do a flip and come back down, and they're still balancing. And anyway, so I thought, if we could get something like that in there, then we could set up some of them, the trees a little bit lower and let kids just try to, balance on it and, just try out something new that maybe they haven't really seen. So
There's a top retainer strap you can put on when you're learning. I highly suggest.
okay, well, I'll be talking to you because I don't know anything about it. Anyway, but I think it looks really cool. It's kind of fun to watch. Something different. We don't want bouncy houses, just something that, kind of opens the kids' minds to new and different things. So anyway, but that's.
And then Blackwell Tourism, we know we're having bands come in for homecoming. If there's any advertisement or anything we can help on that,
Yeah,
you
let
guys
us
let us
know.
know.
Yeah.
And we are having a really good turnout on applications for our Blackwell Tourism Secretary. So hopefully in the next week, we can narrow that down to the board to approve.
That's
That
not our
is our
forte. okay, not at all, so, anyway.
All right,
Good.
thank you
That's
guys.
it.
Just want to
Yeah.
say thanks.
Thank
So please let us know about the
Yes,
concert.
will do.
I'll advertise.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to the financial report, Russ.
Good evening, guys. It's nice to be here to meet with you tonight. A couple of handful of things that I wanted to address before we get into the financials. You know, really, financials are really, we're just 1 month in, so we want to talk about a lot of trends. I don't have a lot of trends to really tell you. I mean, I can have bad things to tell you at this point, but not really trends that would be anything I'd hang my hat on. So when we look at this, I've kind of been going around with all of our councils and with all of our boards, and at least talking about a couple of big things that are going on out financially that we all need to be made aware of. First thing, and I know Jerry's not going to be happy whenever I talk about it because he says I'm starting off with something bad, but the population numbers came out this past year. Census we got last week and started running kind of some comparisons on where things were. Here in Blackwell, if you guys do not know, population is down to 6,085. So down from what was 7,000 in 2010 and almost 7,600 in 2000. So it is, population is down a little bit, but honestly, we've seen all of our communities really falling in rural Oklahoma. You know, that's just a trend that is out there and something that we continue to look at and to monitor. Number two, and you guys will hear this if you didn't already, but the OWRB loans that you guys approved last time, everything got taken care of this week. All of those are approved, so 3.6 million and up to 13.2 million. Taken care of, letters came, I got my copy of the letter today, so that's good news on a financial standpoint. The other thing that we've been talking about and at least discussing was these American Rescue Act funds. The state finally made their drawdown on the American Rescue Act funds. We are expecting our first payment. Those funds will come in 2 separate payments. But our first half of those payments we're expecting in the month of September, along with the rules, which we know what the rules are going to say. They say they have to follow the federal rules, which means it has to be used for water, wastewater, and broadband services. So just another piece there. So now, financial and those kind of things. Well, pockets, technology, guys, it's all a great thing. You know, I look here and have everything I need, right in my hip pocket. On the financials, whenever you guys do it, I know that you've had a whole lot of different versions of this. This is the starting version. I want your all's input on exactly how you want to see these things. But you guys get the detail of checks. You know what all the check registers are. We prefer to roll them up into summary pieces, so you kind of look at it in summary, get that 30,000-foot view of what is going on. We like really 2 main schedules. The first one's going to be the cash schedule. The next one's the budget versus actuals, and for sure for the 2 main funds in what we're looking at. Whenever we do it, the cash schedule, we always like to roll it out. So you've got the total cash of the city in the first column. The next columns are each fund's cash as you go across. I'm not going to read these to you. You guys are all literate and can do that. But as we come down the screen, we start at the very top with the unrestricted caches. That being cash that we can use for any purpose that's out there. And then we get into those restricted pieces, and we try to break those out so you can see what is restricted caches and what are restricted investments. Things that have been, and the difference in cash and investments is whether or not it's in a demand account or whether it's in a CD account or a long-term investment. So this kind of gives you the summary of what's going on. With cash, it's a snapshot in time. This would be July the 31st cash numbers. So at a whim, you can pick this up. You'll always know exactly how much cash do we have. At the very bottom of that screen, we do a little bit of a reconciliation to cash versus the prior month. So you can see an increase or decrease in cash in the prior month, and likewise cash at the beginning of the year. Now, you're looking at this one, you're going, Russ, those are the same numbers. Well, they would be. July is 1 month in, back to the fiscal year is 1 month and 1 month activity. So you're going to see the same numbers there, but as we get into the fiscal year, that'll give you a little better idea of what is happening with our cash. We operate our general fund and the BMA, all of our funds, on the cash basis. It's budgetary, so cash in, cash out. we will report everything directly to the income statement during the year. So whenever you see the fluctuation in cash, you likewise know that that's pretty much an income or an expense item. We'll take care of it at the end of the year, adjusting off of those. But I would like for our discussions to always be on the cash basis, so you guys know exactly what's happened and where those dollars roll. So this is the cash schedule. You guys read that, we can go through that in more detail. I usually don't cover that very often because it's really our cash on hand. You know, if there was something significant, I'll tell you about it, but there's usually never anything there. The second schedule that we usually do, and this is one that we'll do one for the general fund, and there'll be one for B&A. Because those are our two main operating funds. That's where the majority of the day-to-day activity happens. That's the majority of what we really want to look at and how that is handled. Whenever you look here, we're doing year-to-date column versus the budget that you all adopted, and then we give the percent of budget. And every month, whenever we get up here, I'll give you a quick rule of thumb. This month should be 8% of our budget, you know, so as you're looking down through there, and we actually put that at the very bottom of the page whenever you're looking, if you want to know what percentage it should be, but 8%, you know, if our income is over the 8%, that means we're doing good. For instance, sales tax, we're setting at 10% of our budgeted number. I'll quickly hit that. Sales tax for the second month in a row was $296,000. That 296 is a significant increase over the same 2 months prior year, which was $270,000. So, you know, we have about $20,000 a month increase for the last 2 months. Last 2 months being what was deposited in July and what is deposited in August. Very good numbers for us. You know, we love to have, I love to be conservative in our revenue budgets when we're budgeting and be aggressive in our expenses. So as the year balances itself out, the net of those two, hopefully we end up in a positive place. But bottom line, sales tax up. You know, the rest of those expenses as you run down, you know, we have some insurance expense, we have some various things that hit those departments. Likewise, in the department groups here, we've always grouped those into summary forms. We can give you the breakout of the library and the swimming pool and the parks and all of those if you really wanted to see them. But whenever you look at the total dollars in those, they're usually not that big of a number. By the time you've been through the check register and you've looked at what those numbers are, it doesn't really do us any good. It just gives you all more pages to flip through. Now, if you want the details of those, we can go print out a 140-page document. Love to provide that to you so that you can read all 145 pages like we do. But I don't think that's necessarily what you want. We can talk about that going forward if you'd rather see some other form on that. Bottom line, whenever you look at these expenses and you look at what is going on, if you consider the fact that like under cultural and rec, that's all of our parks, that's the swimming pools, that's all of the activities that are really seasonal. To be at 13%, we're in good shape because August is going to slow down. Then we really won't do much in that whole piece until we get back to the spring, you know, when we reopen in May. So I'm not worried about 13%. If there were a number on this piece, you'll hear it from me. We'll say, hey, this is a concern. This is where I'm really looking. I'm concerned that we're not there. All in all, through 1 month, knowing that we have insurance costs, knowing that we have some of these one-off things that come once a year that we have to pay in those pieces, there's nothing on this expense side that I'm really worried about you guys focusing on this month. On the B&A, as we get down to the next piece, we're doing the same thing here, except for this time we kind of break it out so that you can see each department and its profit margin. BMA is our utilities. It's the group that is intended to make money. So as we're looking at this, we want to say, hey, is this making money or isn't it making money? The numbers that you see, so you'll see the revenues and the expenses for each of our departments, the water, the sewer, the trash, and the electric. And likewise, you'll see the profit margins that we have. For instance, electric, we're budgeting 26% profit margin there. Our actual realization at this month is 35%. As we would expect that. Electric sales are always going to be higher in these months. Our expenses are usually pretty fixed underneath those related to salaries and wages. Once you back out wholesale electric, everything else is kind of divided over a 12-month period pretty consistent. So yes, we're going to have increased revenues in these early months. July, August, even into September, we expect higher revenues in those months just because consumption is high. Likewise, we'll go through a low period. And if we get to November and December and January, maybe even to February most times, you're gonna hear me saying, we're all on pace, you guys don't worry about it. Our percentages aren't as high as they were last month, but we're still on pace for what we expected. That's what you're gonna see here. So bottom line, you get to see those pieces. Yes, electric expenses, 10% of budget. With our wholesale electric cost, yes, it should be about 11.5%. So we're still doing pretty well related to the financials as far as that goes. Bottom line, I will tell you, if you're looking there, the one thing that did not get made this month, and it's part of our whole learning and our carryover, just getting everything done, but the transfer between the BMA and the general fund did not happen this month. We will get that caught up next month, so that will be there. But yes, our transfers in and out, the net number there is extremely low. Normally, it's about $225,000 transfer. So if you're looking at that $398 in profit, you gotta remember we were transferring another $225,000 over the general fund, so we would take that out. Leaving us about $175,000 net income, which really is kind of on pace for where we expect to be, coming out of the high income month of June. Guys, I know I've spoken probably longer than you wanted to hear from me. If there is anything that you have questions on, please get with me if you want me to answer. If you want more detail, if you want another format of these, let me know. We will be happy to do that, and we'll put it wherever you want. Any questions? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to business. Business item A is when we consider approval of resolution 2021-0017, a resolution of City Council, City of Blackwell, notifying the public that there will be a public hearing held on the second day, September 2021, at or after 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers of the city, which hearing is held at or pursuant to the request of the Potential Clarity Telecom LLC to operate a community antenna television system within the corporate city limits of Blackwell, Oklahoma, with the purpose of such hearing to, 1, identify the cable-related community needs and interests, 2, review the technical, legal, and financial ability of the cable operator to construct and operate a cable system during any proposed term of any permitted ordinance, B, directing the city clerk to publish this resolution in the newspaper of general circulation when within the municipality, at least one, not less than 5 days prior to the date of the public hearing. I'll turn that over to Gary, Bryce, and Desi.
Well, I mean, we have an amazing opportunity, and that is fiber to the home with up speeds and down speeds of up to 500 MB. Clarity is the company that's offering it. They have come to a number of cities in the state, and I've been working with them, and I thought it was appropriate to bring them here. The purpose of this resolution is to get input from the public. What they would operate is both a fiber to the home network, but it would also be a CATV system or a cable system. And from that cable system, we receive franchise fees, so it would be an alternate cable system, but more than that, it would provide high-speed internet on a fiber system to your home, so you would have ups and downs which are greatly exceeded what you have ever experienced in the past. So the purpose of this resolution is to give the public an opportunity to talk, to review Clarity's technical, legal, and financial ability. I'll tell you that for a couple other communities, I have reviewed that, and I find, and I think Russ, we've provided Russ financial documents. The two of us have find that they meet that, but we need input from the public. Okay, so our next meeting we're going to have a hearing on that, and then I propose that we have a permitting ordinance at that time, which would set out the rules, and we're working on a poll arrangement. This is all up to the council, of course, but this is one of the most exciting things for any of my communities. I mean, With this kind of fiber system, there's no reason why if somebody wanted to live in Blackwell, but they wanted telecommunication speeds of New York or California, there would be no prohibition to them living here or bringing their business here or doing work here, because they would get the same kinds of speeds that they would get anywhere in the country. That's really what this resolution is. I think it would probably be, and this, all this does is give notice to the public and says that we're gonna have a hearing at the next meeting. I think it's appropriate to do that. Always good to hear from the public. And then on the next agenda item, I think that Desi Stoops, who was a native of a community south of here that also has a Maroons High School mascot, spirit mascot, and that is here, but he knows lots of people in Blackwell and lots of people in this whole area. So he is with the company, and they were doing business in another part of the country that's going to get cold soon. He'll probably explain that, and he's wanting to get crews putting up fiber yesterday if he can get this going. So I would say approve the resolution, then let's hear from the company.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution number 2021-0017.
Seconded.
Tracy?
Greenfield,
Aye.
Shepherd,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
All right, moving on to item D is presentation of Clarity Telecom LLC to introduce their fiber to the home proposal for the city of Blackwell. So, Desi?
Mary Greenfield, City Council, City of Bixby, or Blackwell. I'm from Bixby and usually on the road somewhere. Yes, don't hold it against me that I am a Maroon, but it was a long time ago in the late 80s, but you know, my folks still live there. It is an exciting opportunity for me to come here tonight. As Bryce has said, I have spent 30 years in telecom. I graduated from Oklahoma State in '93. Originally started working for Williams Communications, Wiltel. Spent time through there building, I was network planning, building networks all across the United States into NFL cities. I made a lot of people rich. Had a lot of businesses take off in LA and Chicago and Dallas and Atlanta. Finally got the opportunity. In June of this year, I joined Bluepeak, Fast Broadband. GI Partners bought a small telecom company, small cable operator in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We have properties in Sioux Falls in Minnesota today. Now, when they purchased that company, they hired an entire new management team. Rich Fish, my CEO, he'll be to Blackwell at some point in the future. He grew up in Superior, Nebraska, about 1,500 people. Him and I have worked together for 20 years. He's a CFO at a number of telecommunications firms. GI Partners couldn't find any executive team to actually run a telecom company in the middle of the United States that has no big cities, the flyover states. Rich raised his hand, because this was something that he felt passionate about, that his mom, who's still living in Superior, Nebraska, should have the same telecommunications speed and technology as someone living in LA. And there's really no reason why that right shouldn't be there. So at that point, Rich started bringing together the management team, and I was happy he called me because, like I said, I grew up in Perry. Was born there. I spent a lot of time here in Blackwell. My dad is Don Stoops Sr. He was K County Trooper 608 for the Highway Patrol. I spent a lot of time at the McMahons and the Miller, Eddie Miller, and a lot of time here in the mid-'80s during the summertime. My stepmother is Lancer Oil Supply, Roach. So I've had a lot of ties here as well as in Perry. And so coming here tonight, I just give you, like I said, wanted to give you a little bit of background of why this is so interesting to me, because this is personal to be able to come into communities like this and help and build things that I've built for large large cities, and this is the time that we can pull that off. Debbie, if you could advance, please. A little bit about this, again, we talked South Dakota, we currently have operating markets there. That was where it was originally founded. I can tell you right now that we have construction crews expanding our footprint in Wyoming, in North Dakota, in Montana, soon to be Salina. We recently got city council approval in Enid just this past Tuesday, in Perry. That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Bartlesville will be approved for us to build and construct there on September the 7th. Stillwater will be September the 13th. We're working with Guthrie, we're working with Lawton, a number of markets, because we understand that the need for broadband and high-speed fiber is great here in Oklahoma. And being from here, I don't want to use our taxpayer dollars for that. I would rather use private equity firm investment dollars to make that happen for us. Okay? Next slide, please. A little bit about GI Partners. Under the umbrella of their management, they have $28 billion. In our piece of that, the telecommunications utility piece, we have $2.8 billion. This is a serious business that we are pursuing, and this is Oklahoma is a key area that we want to expand to. Okay. Russ have seen some financials that are private record, and we'll be happy to continue to share that if needed. But yeah, we're excited about doing everything that we're doing here. Next one, please. When we talk fiber to the home, it's truly a transformational moment for Blackwell. And I explain it this way. In everyone's home, you've got plumbing. You've got a single electric line, and you've got a single coax for cable TV. But if you think back to the 70s, that coax wasn't there. It was an antenna on the roof. And then everyone got excited, oh goodness, let's put a coax in. And everyone got to cable TV. That's a 30 to 40 year technology that is now outdated. Let's just call that what it is. Individuals, it's physics. Speeds through that coax. Sure, you can advertise a full gig throughput. Reality is we all know that it's much less than that. Our technology would be true fiber to the home. You'll have a fiber that will have speeds. Minimum offering that will publish to the public will be 500 meg. It's true symmetrical speed. 500 meg download, 500 meg upload. There will be speeds that won't be published for those economically challenged. However, the minimum publish offering, like I said, for residential will be 500 meg. Residential speeds will go up to 500 meg, 1 gig, 2 gig, 5 gig. The commercial speed that will be available for businesses in Blackwell would be up to 10 gig. If you think about that, 10 gig is, you literally could have a Hollywood movie production set in Blackwell, and it would be as if they were in LA. Wall Street traders could be able to trade right here as if they were in Manhattan. It is a transformational discussion and piece of technology that is why I get so excited about coming and helping, areas that I grew up in, because it's needed. We move forward a little bit. We look at, I'm trying to think through all this one.
That's a quick question.
Yes.
Quick question. When you're talking about the difference between business and residential, what about the people that work from home?
They'll be able to get,
Can you get, would that be, I'm an appraiser.
okay?
And it's all, we send everything to
Yep.
the internet. But if my office is at home, can I get the commercial speeds?
I'm sure that if you would like 10 gig service, you'd be able to get it. I think the reality is something much less would be what you would need. But yes,
Well, most
The-
of
the
our
plant-
software runs, it's all tied in and.
yeah, the plant itself, the fiber plant, the asset itself, sure, that will be available to you. Not an issue. Okay? In respect to, how we pull this off, we work with city councils like yourself to be a partner in this. Legally, and Bryce knows this, I could just submit a franchise document to you for your consideration, and you would, all cable TV franchise are non-exclusive. You would look at it, you would say yes or no. I'm one of you. I don't want to put my name to that without speaking to you and looking at you in the face and saying, this is what I want to do for this community. My hope is that after we visit today, and there's questions from yourself as well as the constituents that you all serve, that I'll be able to answer them, and we can come to an agreement that you cast your vote and would allow us to come and provide this service to the city of Blackwell. Move forward, please. Again, I've told you the number of cities and number of markets that we're currently in. We anticipate that number to continue to grow. We have hired a number of individuals here in the state of Oklahoma to help us with maneuvering through the state senate, as well as Mr. Russ was visiting about the broadband funds. We don't need them. I don't want a single dollar of that broadband money that he was mentioning. I'd rather you use those funds for infrastructure that you need in other areas. This is self-funded. We're not looking for any additional dollar from anyone in any municipality or any state. There may be occasions where a joint pursuit would take place, but that's not the primary goal here. We are doing this on our own. Okay. Next one, please. This conversation here has come really quick. I don't have a high-level design built for Blackwell. I will tell you this: we use Quanta companies for our engineering and our construction work. The subgroup under Quanta that does the engineering is HBK. The construction group under Quanta is Meters. They're currently up in the north, in the Dakotas, in Wyoming. Come October, the ground freezes. Construction stops there. Okay, we're expanding down south, and that's the reason why. Okay, it's really simple. So that's one of the things. As soon as I'm showing you a little bit, or I'm showing you the Enid design. It's a combination of aerial fiber, which in the blue, underground in the green. We would use in Enid, for example, pole attachment agreements with OG&E, and we would work underground right-of-way agreements with the city to build the areas of the town that would need underground. Obviously, you can look up there, 98 miles underground, 135 miles aerial distribution, 17,000 homes and businesses passed. There's a schedule of how all this takes place, 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out. We'll be in touch with the community, door tags, knowing that we're going to be doing some construction in your area. We'll have 800 numbers for the city if there's a problem, so that they can simply pass that on to us, that call. We'll handle any tickets that would come through the city for complaints and hopefully praises, right? So, if you flip through one more, please. Stillwater. This is how we'll build out Stillwater. Obviously, your Cowboys, or if you just go there for Joe's, the green, we'll be doing a lot of underground there. And then in downtown, now Stillwater is a municipality that owns their own poles, so we'll have that pole attachment agreement directly with Stillwater and do the aerial. You see the part there that's the university in the middle of town. AT&T has fiber there, but they didn't move anywhere else, so there you go. We're looking forward to that. 16,000 passing, 102 fiber aerial, and 95 miles underground. Keep going through. This is the timeline. So typically once a franchise is approved, that's kind of where we're on this left side here. Once we get to that point, then we start having kickoff conversations with the municipality, with whether it's Blackwell Electric. We'll start talking right away. We want to be collaborative when we do these constructions. If you say, hey, you know what, we've got the street open right now down Main, and it would be available for open trench burial or underground, let's have that conversation. Let's not go aerial if there's a street that's already open and open trench. We'll collaborate with you. That's a cost savings for us. It's also a benefit for you, so we don't have to come back around and do something different. So we'll collaborate with you on the plant once it starts going in. then, 90 days, 30 days out, you start seeing door tags within each individual neighborhood that we hit first, and et cetera, et cetera. This is the slide that outlines door tags and product differentiation. I know there's likely a question behind me with individuals, they may say, what's this cost, right? We do have rate grids. We're not publishing them until we get here. I will tell you this. Why would I spend $20 million in Enid if I wasn't going to garner customers? It will be priced appropriately. I think the direction is twice the speed for half the price, and I think our grids will show that. It will be truly disruptional from a high-speed internet as well as from a cable TV offering. We'll have both. And there's no reason I wouldn't come in and invest in Blackwell if I wasn't planning on gaining a customer base here. So rest assured when we get to that point that when rate grids are made public, that it will be good for everybody. Okay. Moving through, I think the last couple are just leadership. Again, Rich Fish, Center and CEO. He played for Osborne in Nebraska as a free safety in the late 80s. He grew up in Superior, small town guy. Mike Carey, another Nebraska guy. And that's primarily the makeup of the executive team. And I think that just kind of, you scroll through and it kind of finishes up. Are there questions or concerns from yourself, or I don't know if you open it for public comment, but I'll let you read there.
Well, council, any questions first?
So there'll be a local repair guy, or will they be nearby, or?
So we're for sure putting crew, a retail store technician location in Perry, in Enid and in Stillwater, where we'll likely have a satellite office in Perry, maybe Blackwell, and maybe Tonkin. The techs will likely be out of Enid and Stillwater to here. So, within 30 minutes, from 45 minutes from either of those. And then if we get to the point where a satellite office would be here, we would likely have that staffed 1 or 2 days a week. But as a community center, what we're doing and envisioning in Perry, the constituents may or may not, likely won't understand the true capabilities of what this network will be able to do. We want to be active in the community and have Monday night demos. The YMCA in Perry has already reached out to say, hey, can you sponsor our esports league? You're going to have 10 gig service. And an esports league there in Perry, and one in Tonkawa, and one in Blackwell, the communities will be able to do things that they have only dreamed about in the past. So should we get to that point, Councilman, then there would potentially be a satellite office here for community events and 1 or 2 times a week have crew in. Okay.
Any specialized equipment you need to buy?
No, sir. No, sir. I mean, typically what most people will have a wireless router in the house today provided by the cable TV, or maybe just a wireless router if they're buying internet from somewhere else. Those routers may be 1 gig, 10 gig routers, but the problem is the pipe into the house is throwing about 8 meg through it. So our service, there will be so we'll go by every house and every business, and when someone chooses to trust us with their content, we'll drop into the house and we'll drop just like if any of you have DirecTV, there will be a box there and then satellite boxes in the house. That router where the main fiber will come into will have your Wi-Fi signal throughout the house. So there's no additional service or additional box or equipment that the consumer would need.
So will your engineers do all the make-ready, figure out the make-ready work, where if poles need to be changed out for clearance, or?
We would collaborate since Blackwell owns those poles. There'll be a crew here that would do the walkout, and they would say, okay, based upon the cable going in, the weight, distribution, this one would need to be, make ready, rebuilt, or, replaced or whatever. I'm sure there's already a comms company on the bottom of that pole somewhere, and you're going to outline to us, hey, I need 12-inch, 18-inch, 2 feet clearance between comms groups. Should there be a need to move one of those comms individuals, they may not move very fast. That's the reality of it. Why would I move to have someone come in with a fiber asset? We would lean and ask the city for assistance in making those requests and things happen for us. But yeah, we'll go as fast as you want us to go, and as fast as permitting allows, and as fast as you can assist us in getting fiber throughout the city.
So you guys would pay for the pole replacement too, right? And
Yes.
the work, if needed?
If needed.
And tree trimming, would you guys trim your own trees as you go to get it strong?
The poll agreement that I negotiated, we haven't had it approved yet. Well, I mean, you did send it back.
Right.
We're still talking about price. Does have a vegetative provision in it. What it says is of all the people that are using the polls, you know, whatever that number is, divide that into 100%, and they'll pay their percent.
Right. I mean,
And
if
then,
a pole
of
needs to
course,
replace
if
it,
there's anything that needs to be cut to do the install, that's on them. But I'm talking about routine
Yeah.
vegetative management.
I'll split the cost with whoever's else on there.
Yeah.
I don't wanna pay for it
split the
myself.
cost. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
To
we
make
thought-
ready work, you pay 100%, because you're the one creating the issue, right? If the pole needs to be changed.
Is that how we did that?
You know, we don't have, that's a good point. We don't have a provision because we assume that all the poles are there, and what we provide is an annual rental per
Right.
pole. And that annual rental per pole is collected and used by the city to buy new poles. Now, I did, it was in Tonkwell, they bought 40 new poles Tuesday night, and I thought poles were 195, 200, maybe 225. These were 325. I mean, poles are pretty expensive now.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford to foot the bill, you know, for every pole that needs changed out to meet your clearances, or to have enough clearance because of you going on, so. To me,
Well,
it
I
seems
mean,
like
that's
it's
the
your
other piece.
responsibility.
I think that's the other piece that the council would consider, is the investment in the city and the technology that would bring.
And you're gonna have to cut trees in some places to get the fiber through, so.
No, I think those are all good points that we should collectively discuss and talk through. We are excited with the potential to be here, and we hope that there's some collaboration and some cooperation on how the benefit is to both sides, right? So, yeah.
Definitely the benefit for just the opportunity to have fiber in the community is huge, you know, outside of, you know, getting it hung and getting it installed and whatnot. The benefit, what that would provide to the businesses, community, the schools, students, everything.
Yeah.
The speed of business could increase, literally.
You know, I actually have to speak to the Stillwater Young Professional Group on September the 9th. As that organization continues to think how they grow Stillwater, it's a transformational approach from there. A lot of Stillwater graduates leave. Now, all of a sudden with remote work, they're like, how is this going to, oh my goodness, we're able to graduate and love Stillwater and we want to stay here and now we can work remotely, right? So, yeah, I think that it'll be good. Any other questions?
Greg?
I think another one we can discuss eventually. You need to answer that, John, go ahead. Is, I mean, are we looking at drilling holes in these poles, or are we looking at banding? So that we don't have to drill holes, that's another option to be,
How they
needs to
install.
be talked about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Definitely some more conversation sounds, I mean, and that's
Yes,
where we're
sir.
at. That's
Yeah,
where we're at.
certainly
We're not,
on the
you know,
installation.
all definitely good questions, I think.
Sure.
Very good. And then obviously the benefit of having the assets in the community is, there are, as you alluded to, companies that would be looking at us having, you know, this service versus communities that don't, and we'd have definitely a point higher.
So when Bryce and I have been working with some other communities, just differently. Perry, Tonkawa, Blackwell, construction here will go quick. Those three communities would literally be the first communities in Oklahoma with true fiber to every home and every business.
Yeah,
Should you
we'll
go down this
actually
path.
beat Ponca City.
Yeah. Should you go down this path, I mean, it is your decision.
Right.
I'm here to let you know that we're interested in trying to pursue this in a cooperative fashion. And we'd entertain going as quickly as we could, so.
If you had to ballpark it, what would your dollar amount investment in Blackwell be? Just a ballpark.
3 million, 4 million, somewhere in that range.
And not a dime from the citizens or the city?
No, sir, no.
Does the government assist any of that?
No, sir. As I said when I first started, this is all private equity. We don't need taxpayer dollars for this. And as Russ was telling you about the allocation, use that allocated dollars for something else.
It's a win-win.
So you think about the coax plant, I see some skepticism there. Why, right? And I'll tell you why. How many times has coax been updated in your house? None. It's a 40-year investment. This is a utility, and that is how we see this, as a long-term investment in the community. You don't have 2 sets of plumbing in your house. You don't have 2 sets of electricity in your house, and you don't have 2 sets of coax. You have 1 set of fiber, and that is a 35 to 40-year investment in the community. So,
I think it has the possibility to open up a lot of opportunities, kind of like what you're alluding to, is, I mean, people that don't have to, be in the big city to do what they want to do.
right.
I've called around the state and talked to some people just in regards to fiber. And they say when businesses and even homeowners now, when they're moving, they don't even ask what other capabilities there. The first question out of their mouth is, do you have fiber? Which I thought was pretty amazing.
I mean, some of the speeds we have now, or at least that I have, but it's not constant. And, I mean, I have to sit and wait.
Well, and unfortunately, the times we live in now, you also got to kind of take into consideration when students have to go home to learn. If that happens again, what would that provide? What opportunity would that provide them for school? Just working from home, period.
Any questions from the public?
Cost per home,
For installation or monthly service?
monthly service?
As I said earlier, we're working on what that will publicly be. However, I can assure you that we wouldn't spend the money here and not garner the consumer base. Roughly twice the capacity, twice the speed for half the price is a ballpark. And cable television will be an attractive offering. Yes, ma'am.
Somebody's paying for it, what's that about? Who's paying for it?
The owners, our company.
That estimated, Desi had said that estimate was approximately $3 or $4 million for the community that they are using their private funds for. None of this is subsidized. None of this is paid for by local, state, or federal taxpayers or anything. It's all private investment.
I was in a country in a neighborhood that had a housing addition, and they brought in fiber optics, but it was all underground. Is there a reason why we're splitting, like some areas get underground and residences get?
So where there is a pole, we'll utilize pole attachment agreement,
Okay.
and where there isn't, we'll bore. And I will say that we'll only use orange trenchers. You won't see any yellow ones, given where I grew up. I made sure of that at the very start of this discussion when I first came on.
Yeah.
Orange trenchers
Yeah.
only.
Michelle?
Ease of access
sorry.
Okay, what about for nonprofits? Is there any way for, say, like the museum, the library, other things to, schools have this service for free that would offer them an alternative to what we're paying now?
So with respect to K-12, so I was the vice president for Windstream Communications, the fourth biggest telecom company, federal in state government. The school district, the K-12 organizations, as well as public libraries, as well as non-parochial schools, they file for E-rate service. Filing, Form 470 filings to get funds to pay for their data service. Those funds are based on subsidized lunches within the entire school district, okay? We will bid on an E-rate filing, so say next March is when E-rate, USAC funding, K-12 funding, it opens up. We'll see the request and provide a competitive bid, and the school will then procure through our organization. Yes.
Okay, so like that takes care of the school and the library, but what about places like the nutrition center, the museum, Associated Charities, things like that? They will also be able to do that?
So.
And churches?
Who else wants something free? Everybody signed in for this one?
Yeah.
The mayor's house?
I guess, I don't know what's the easy way, I don't know how to answer that. Other than, I believe that our service and the speeds that you'll get will be priced below what you're paying today, and the speeds will be greater than what you get, and therefore you're probably going to be amazed anyway. I guess that's
a good,
that's an easy
good question. Yeah, good answer.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I wish I could get
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I help you out a little bit?
You can. Please, anyone else?
You want for me too?
One of the things that you really didn't pat yourself on the back or comment on is, I've kind of been through it. Once fiber's laid and ran to a home, what benefit is it to the homeowner as far as financially? Does it increase their home value?
So there have been studies that fiber to the home will increase property value, does increase property value 35%. It is like having an outhouse and then moving to have indoor plumbing. You have to think of this as a utility service. Your home previously had a coax service that was antiquated. It was like the '76 Camaro I drove in high school. And if I take it to a Tesla dealership, they're not going to be able to fix it. You will have outhouse service with now indoor plumbing. That alone, and there's a number of studies. I'm not making this up. Carnegie Mellon, Harvard, Yale, you pick one. Polytech, Cal Poly, I think is doing. And now that doesn't affect the municipality, but I would think that maybe the county assessor at some point would, peek under the covers and see what that does.
It's like Jerry said, they don't ask about school first anymore. They don't ask first thing out of their mouth. What kind of fiber? What kind of speed? That's the very first question every time. So.
Are there any other questions that I can answer?
Unfortunately, he's not Oprah, so he's not going, you get free. You get free. We try.
I applaud you trying, that's actually good. Yeah, that means they weren't sleeping. They actually listened and paying attention. So I do a lot of city council meetings. I'm literally, I was on the Laramie, Wyoming Zoom city council meeting on Tuesday night after I left Enid at 7:30 in the evening. Monday night was on the Grand Forks City Council meeting, and usually each week there's, I don't usually get so many questions, so this is good.
Wide variety. Good operational side. Yeah, okay. Well, with there being done, we'll
Okay.
move on. Look forward to,
Let me know, and if you need me to be, Bryce, do I need to be back on September 2nd, I think?
You know, if you could be, that would be nice, because, I mean, we're gonna have, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the permitting ordinance,
I'll be here.
other documents. It would be good, you know, you do that, you know, design.
We should have that done by September 2nd, so everyone can
Okay, so
see.
you could put that out, and that's something that you can coordinate with Jerry
Okay.
Eubanks, who's, you know, and of course, Greg, but, yeah, take a look at that to make sure that that kind of works. I mean, when you get to the permitting stage, it's actually a per pole, you know, and it's decisions per pole. Now, I will tell you that in the one that I provided them, I did have 5 municipal buildings with free service, so we're gonna have to talk about that one.
I've got a couple churches.
I think there's a museums and a lot of other things too that Roger.
I thought we had good questions. Late groundwork.
Yes, yes.
But here,
My CEO did commit to something on the fly and
yeah, I kind
Mr.
of,
Strella remembered, and I was like, oh goodness. Okay, well, yeah, this is one of those.
did you get, did I mail you a copy
Yeah,
of this? Okay, so,
okay.
but I mean, we're not expecting, you know, we're not expecting everywhere. It would be nice, as
Sure.
we discussed in this building and a few of our other,
That's some of it.
a few of our other operations,
Okay.
so.
Maybe there's some trade-off there for some tree
Yeah.
trimming.
No, I got it.
Okay,
Have to.
thank you. I'll leave my cards, I'll leave them here and we can be in touch, okay? Thank you.
Thank you,
Desi,
Desi.
before you leave, before you leave, make sure and tell Greg, I didn't know anything about the poll agreement until tonight, all right?
Okay.
Moving on, well, item C is topical of Oklahoma Museum. Board members are going to discuss a request of funding for window replacement, installation of protective film for windows at the Topical Oklahoma Museum.
Good evening,
Hello.
thank you.
Solid.
Don't you love Melissa when she asks the questions?
All right, that's good.
Yes. As you may have heard, we have started an inventory at the museum, and we are inventorying using a program called Past Perfect, which most museums use. But in the process of doing this inventory, we have discovered some issues that I wanted to share with you. We've discovered 3 things, not necessarily good. Number 1, our collections are fading. Number 2, the windows are in poor shape. We have about 19 windows throughout the whole museum. And not all are bad, but many have some issues. And then the UV rays are causing a great problem for us. And I'll explain that in just a minute. The 2 rooms that we have inventoried are the windows, they face the old Homeland store on the east, and on the south, they would face Kathleen Brown's tag agency. So let's talk about the fading. In the medical room, we have discovered that we are losing pictures of old former physicians that were here in Blackwell many, many years ago. They're fading on us, and we've tried putting curtains up in the room. Hasn't been successful. In the Native American room, if you've been there, we have some lovely Native American art, and you can tell by looking at the pictures that have received the sun, they have faded, and you look at the one just two places down, and it's much more vivid. With the windows, they're double paned. Some of the seals are broken, and so we have moisture that's coming in. Some of the moisture is probably about this thick between the 2 panes of windows. We've had some BB gun shots. We have one window that's totally cracked all the way across. And remember, like I said, there are approximately 19 windows in the museum. Next, the UV rays. We found a company that works in 3 states. Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. They have an office in Oklahoma City. They are the ones that did the Marlin Mansion and Lottie's Cottage. And they recommend film on the outside of the windows. It does two things, but you can't put the film until the windows are fixed. It does two things. One, it stops or holds back the UV rays better. And number two, it would help in heating and cooling with the film on the windows. And so, in closing, this is brief. Our assets we have in our museum are fading. Our collections are worth saving. And we certainly hope you might have a positive vote when it comes up on your agenda. Unless you have some questions, I'm finished.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Pat.
Pat.
Thank you, Patty.
We've heard the presentation. We'll move on to item D, is appropriate funds in the amount of $15,000 to be transferred from the Blackwell Public Trust Community Enhancement Funds into the Blackwell Facilities Authority for the purpose of window replacement protective film covering at the top of Oklahoma Museum. Now, discuss.
How many windows is that, will that take care of?
Looks like, by just this one estimate provided, looks like they're looking at 16. Which, 16 windows, 3 screen repairs. We could, we could look at obtaining a few more options of bids.
Mayor, council, if I may.
Yep.
If the funds are allocated this evening, I'm going to get with Mr. Eubanks and we're going to assist the museum in obtaining some other bids in relation to replacing these windows and the window film.
We can definitely do a lot with $15,000. I'll probably do all of them, and you wouldn't have to put film on. You could probably get the low E tinted glass. Anytime you put film on it, you void the warranty on those brand new windows because it does not allow the argon gas to activate and work right in between there. So there wouldn't be a window manufacturer to stand behind their warranty if you put film on it. So if you do it straight from the manufacturer and have it built with tinted window and low E glass to stop that. We just happen to know somebody that might. It's a good process.
TJ,
Yes.
can I come to it?
Absolutely.
Okay. We had another company come prior to us, and so the city should have somewhere in their stuff. They came and saw me prior to Jerry being city manager, and they were asked to come here by our past city manager, and she had them come in and they looked at our windows, and the guy told me at the time that the one in the tornado rim was about to break in half, and that he would come back and tell them, the council, that it needed to be done. So somewhere in the city there should be something from another company that came and looked. I would say it was about a year ago, I would say.
I'll do some research and see if we can pull that up. But if not, we can obtain other ones to help them out.
And this will take care of the windows and prevent any more fading of collection there in the museum. I know there's some other interior work at the museum definitely needs to be addressed at some near future. Some point we need to work on that club room. I know we've spent a good amount on the exterior of it, and it was well needed, past due, and that's something we definitely need to take care of, that building in our community. So,
Absolutely.
I'm assuming we have no problem with funds in the community enhancement funds.
since Russ is here, we can ask him if that pocket's got enough money in it.
Yes, we would have enough money at this point.
That being the case, I would move we approve the funds for this project.
I'll second it.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate all your ladies' work at the museum. You guys do an outstanding job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item E. Consider approval of request to seek bids for a request to approve bid specifications for a 7x14 dump trailer for the street department.
Back during our budget discussions, I talked to you about the need for a dump trailer to haul our new skid steer around. This is just a request to seek bids for that trailer.
I'd make the motion to approve the request to seek bids.
I'll second.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
And item F, consider approval of request to seek bids and a request to approve bid specifications for a 60-inch rotary mower for the Parks Department.
We also spoke about the need to replace the current 60-inch rotary mower we have. I believe it's an 08 model. It's mowed by grass. We have a hard time keeping it together. We have to weld on it all the time. It needs replacements. So this is just a request to seek bids for a new one.
Okay. Another bid, or another budget item.
I'll make the motion to approve the request to seek bids.
I'll second.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Item G, approval award of bid and authorized contract or purchase order to Williams Construction Company for replacement of 4 windows at the Blackwell Fire Department. The amount is $7,950. I guess replacing the windows on the west side, correct?
West side, yes. The 2 in the bedroom and then the 2 in the office.
Okay.
The windows are cracked and the argon's leaked out, and it gets extremely hot when the sun's on the west side of the building.
You guys have been needing them for quite some time.
At least 8 years.
Yes, yes. Okay.
I'm just curious, only one bid,
We had somebody else call in and request a bid packet, it was sent to them, but we didn't get anything back from them.
Jerry, you got work history with this, I mean, feel good about that, quote on that? I mean, they're all second floor, second story, so I know they're gonna have to have some equipment involved.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good with that, especially with, second floor having to do that. Are we gonna have to get a lift, or are they gonna furnish
No,
that?
they do all that, they haul off all the waste.
And I believe it's a good price.
Okay.
How much was budgeted for that, do you know?
7,800?
Yeah,
Pretty close to
it was really right on line with what he asked for.
All right.
I'd move we approve the bid.
Second.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Item H is approval, award of bid and authorized contract or purchase order to P&T Enterprises Napa for a J-test.
Don't-
Diagnostic and telemetric vehicle scan system for and related equipment for the fleet department in the amount of $12,254.97.
That is the scan tool, so they can work on all the heavy equipment also. Without having to call, I can't think of that trucking company in Tonka, or in Tonka that comes over. Harlan's, yeah.
This was also budgeted as well.
It was budgeted, yes.
Guess that budget amount was about,
It's about the same. It was, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same amount.
okay. Any questions?
No, I'd move we approve the award of bid.
Second.
I'll second.
Go. Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Moving on to item I, approve award of bid and authorized contract or purchase order to Chief Fire and Safety for electronic extraction equipment and related equipment and the fire department in the amount of $42,418.40.
This is another budgeted item, and it came in $6,000 less than what was budgeted. And on that one, we specify the specific tool manufacturer, and one of the other guys that could have bid, had COVID, and he wasn't able to put a bid in for it.
Any questions for Corey on this item? Have a motion or action?
I'd move we approve the bid.
A second. Tracy?
Greenfield,
Aye.
Shepherd,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Item J is approve award of bid and authorized contract or purchase order to Chief Fire and Safety for thermal imaging camera and related equipment for the fire department in the amount of $8,149.
This is a camera used to find hidden fires and wall hotspots, so we make sure that everything is completely extinguished before we leave the scene. Now, this one did come in a little higher than budget. I think we budgeted $7,800 for the thermal imager, and it came in at $81. Just price increase from May to now, basically.
And we made it up on the extraction
Yes.
equipment.
Yep.
But your pockets are gonna be about empty. We're going through it, that thing's gotta be getting pretty dry.
The rest of it's still there rubbing there.
You got any pockets left down there?
Nothing left in my pockets.
Any questions on the camera for Corey?
If not, I'd move we approve.
I'll second.
Tracy?
Greenfield,
Aye.
Shepherd,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Your budget is empty now, right?
Pretty close.
He got all this stuff in. All right, moving on to item K, approve amendments to commercial business beautification program and application.
Mayor, Councilman, I've sat down with Bryce, and we've had several community members that have businesses off of Main Street. And what this would do is allow us to use at least $2,500 for any business that sits off of Main Street to help any efforts to beautify their property, improve their property. We've had very long discussions. What really excites me is the beautification program. People in Blackwell are really excited about it. We have businesses out on Doolin. We have businesses on Ferguson. You know, it was set up and written for the fact that the Main Street beautification would be $5,000. We want to maintain that, but we also want to be able to assist those businesses not on Main Street with up to $2,500. Now, we were allocated $70,000 for the Main Street beautification project, Tracy, but that mirrors with the dilapidations as well, right?
Yes.
So we just tore down 9 houses in the city, and I believe last year we utilized about $26,000 of the beautification. So we would recommend these changes to assist businesses off of Main Street. Like I said, I'm really excited that business owners are taking the opportunity to improve their businesses and utilizing this program provided by the city.
We've had this program for a couple of years now. It's kind of been consistently about that amount that's been utilized roughly each year. So I think that's this would be a good, I think, opportunity for, as Jerry mentioned, businesses off of Main Street to have the chance to utilize some of these funds and improve. Equally, they should have a chance, and then we can keep an emphasis on our downtown area because that is, how it was initially started. Once the council started. thoughts on. I know we talked about this a little bit, if I recall, during budget.
This is set up, curious, who's the decision maker on this, on the allocation of funds? Do we have, we don't have a committee?
We do not.
We do not.
Ultimately, it comes through the second floor here. It's reviewed by 3 of us, and ultimately the decision lies with myself. But there's several discussions had on every application turned in. Nothing's just given out just for the sake of giving out. They provide all the documentation to achieve the grant. It's reviewed by Mrs. Spence, myself. She does a great job of putting that together. We bring Lauren and Tracy in sometimes if we have some other questions. And we work as a collective group up there to make sure that we're allocating the funds for the proper reasons. And it's also left to inspection. The city could pull back those funds if they're not allocated the way that they're intended to, but we've had no problem. You can look on Main Street and you can tell the businesses that have utilized that. I'll use the marketplace there. Wow, what have they done? I mean, they've literally changed Main Street by putting up their window vinyl, the signs they put up. I mean, Main Street's come a long way, I think, in the last year, and I think this program has been a big help to that. And that's just one business.
Isn't the application asked for details on how they plan to expend those funds?
Absolutely.
And that's what you're approving is the overall plan that they submit to us?
Absolutely.
Personally, I'm in favor of it. And if there's not any other questions, I would move that we approve the amendments with the changes to the program.
I'll second.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Houston, or Webb, sorry.
Aye.
Jerry's sitting there, threw me off, I've almost done that. Sorry,
Steve
Webb.
threw me off a little bit, yeah. Moving on to item L is consider to approve request to declare one set of police department body armor as surplus and allow deposition as city manager directs.
When we hire new guys, they're all custom fit body armor. It's good for about 5 years. Police officers sometimes come and go. We purchased this set in 2018. The officer left here a few months ago, and he's kind of asked to purchase that for his new job since it's custom fit to him. We're going to prorate a price, and other than that, it's going to sit in storage. So this is a win-win for us. We recoup some of our money, and he gets the vest that was custom fit for him.
I'll be the first to tell you, no police officer ever wants to switch vests until they absolutely have to. You wear those things long enough, even though they're custom fit, you wear them long enough, they mold to your body, and I think this is a great deal.
Make the motion to approve the request.
I'll second it.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Item N, consideration to approve request to declare a pool slide as surplus that is no longer in service or no longer useful for an additional purpose and allow deposition as city manager directs.
This is the old slide that we took out at the pool before we installed the new one. It's been sitting out back behind my shop. I've had several people express interest in it, so I'd like to get it surplus so I can so Jerry and I can figure out what to do with it.
Okay. Very good.
I move we approve.
Second it.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Do we have any new business for the city council this evening?
Not this evening, Mayor.
With there being none, adjourn the meeting of Blackwell City Council, convene the meeting of Blackwell Municipal Authority. First item this evening is the consent agenda.
Move we approve.
Second it.
Tracy?
Greenfield.
Aye.
Shepherd.
Aye.
Braden.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Under business, we've got item A, update on the water plant, electric, and water AMI meters, loans, and projects.
On the 17th,
got the opportunity to be sent to Oklahoma City to go to the ORWB loan process hearing, and I can proudly tell you that they approved both loans for us, one in the amount of roughly 3.6 million and one roughly 13.2 million for our water treatment plant and AMR read meters. It's a great day to be in Blackwell. A lot of great things going on. With those two items alone, upgrade a lot. It was a nice experience. They whizzed right through it. Didn't have any concern.
That's why we sent you.
Yes, and I think y'all sent me to get me out of town because Desi was coming.
Not one question.
No, they didn't have any questions, and it's just exciting. It really is to be part of Blackwell right now with everything that we have going on, and water treatment plant, water lines getting put in and things. It's really exciting.
Would we have any idea how soon we might start seeing the water meters?
Of course, that'll all have to go out for bid. Y'all have to have it spec'd and go out, but just as soon as we can possibly get things rolling and going, I plan on trying to move on out, getting with Bryce and probably getting spec sheets out, sent out for bid, and then what Russ, 20 days out for bid, then do the bid process.
It'll be this fall.
Yeah.
It'll be this fall. It'll be this year.
We'll move on water first, is my intention. Now, of course, it'll be up to y'all to decide. That was what we're bringing all that to you. Like to really do it in two phases, water first, get that completely done and rolling, and then move into the electric part to give us time to work, because we do have a lot of concerns that me and that gentleman right there got to finish fighting over or figure out one of the two. You know, right now we're on the same team, so. But, you know, there's probably some things that we're gonna have to look at with some of those A-based meters, some kind of program. So we need to take that with a kind of a 6,000 foot view to ease into it. But that's really all I have on that one. Got a couple things for the next one.
Nothing else, we'll move on to item 4 is new business for the BMA.
Got the proposal back on the 13th Street surfacing that I'd like to visit with y'all about. Of course, I don't have them down here right now, but before the next meeting, kind of maybe one-on-one with a couple of them, and we'll have it, get an idea of what we're going to do on 13th Street. And I gave y'all a map with some of the water lines we put in. I'd like for y'all to kind of look over that and give me your input on what you think. Kind of made it self-explanatory on there. Have to see what input y'all might have. And we had to shut down our elevator in the City Hall building. And we did that just out of concern that we might have some foundation problems. We got a hold of a structural engineer to come in, and he has me, Jerry, monitoring some of the situation on the crack that we have in the wall. It is structurally sound and structurally safe at this point, but it's going to be something that we are going to have to address to fix, because with the opening and the gap that's in there, it's only going to allow it to get worse, much worse. Right now, we've been digging for some maps that we need that will save a ton of money. Found this little room down here that's pretty neat. I know where it's at, I just can't tell you which one it is. It's numbered between 1 and 800 though. So next week sometime I plan on going through all those maps and finding that to get it to him, so that we can figure out exactly the best and most cost-effective way to fix this building over there. That's all I have. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Jerry. If there's nothing else for the BMA this evening, adjourn the meeting of Blackwell Municipal Authority, and we'll convene the Blackwell Facilities Authority. First item on there is going to be the consent agenda again.
Move we approve.
Second.
Tracy?
Greenfield,
Aye.
Shepherd,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Is there any new business for the BFA?
Not tonight, Mayor.
Not tonight. Then we'll convene the, adjourn, sorry, BFA, and we're done.